A few weeks ago, y'all told me that cooking a whole chicken was intimidating. So here I am. I'm going to give you a 5-minute tutorial on how to cook a chicken, starting with dethawing it. Before I cook a whole chicken, I love to brine it. This is an optional step, but if you do it, I promise you will have the most juicy and tender chicken ever. So I'm going to open the package and toss the whole chicken in the pot. I think one of the biggest fears around cooking raw chicken is having to touch it, but just trust that you can sanitize and wash your hands after you're done. All right, let's add some flavor. I'm going to do some salt. I like the Redmond's real salt, some garlic powder. You can also use whole garlic cloves, some brown sugar. I mean, why not? And then a splash of apple cider vinegar. There are so many options to brine your chicken. You can do fresh sliced lemon, whole garlic cloves, dried herbs, whatever suits your fancy. I'm going to put some oil in my cast iron and set that aside. After this is sat in the fridge for an hour or two, whenever, we're going to drain that off. Make sure you dump the chicken because a lot of moisture can be held in the chicken cavity, and pop that joker on a cutting board and let's get to cutting. All right, we're going to spatchcock the chicken. So we're going to cut it along the spine, not the breastplate. So flip it back over and we're going to cut along the back spine. So you'll feel that tailbone here, and then we're going to cut on either side of it. I like to use poultry shears because this can be a little bit hard to do, but just stick with it, squeeze hard, and you can also do it with a knife if that's what you have on hand. Then on the other side of the tailbone, we're going to start again and go back up on the other side of the spine. I know what you're thinking. Yes, you can roast the chicken whole, but let me tell you why I do it this way. One, I'm going to save the spine for some broth later. So I'm going to set that aside, pop it in the freezer, and whenever I make a big batch of chicken broth, I'm going to save it for that. Two, this is going to cook a little bit faster, and it's also going to be so much easier to get all the meat off after it's cooked. So turn it down and break that breastplate. You're going to push down really hard, and you'll hear it pop. And then we're going to move it to the cast iron and get it all seasoned. There is 1.5 million ways to season your chicken. You can do lemon pepper, you can slice fresh lemons and do garlic cloves, fresh sliced onion, whatever floats your boat. For today, I'm just going to stick with Old Faithful salt, pepper, and garlic. Season it on both sides. This is going to help your meat taste good all the way around. I'm also going to pull the skin up just a little bit. So if you have skin on your chicken, pull it up just a little bit, season below that, and that's going to lock in a lot of good flavor that you're not going to want to miss out on. All right, you've got your seasoned chicken ready to go in the oven. I like to put a lid on my cast iron. You can also do this in a Dutch oven, whatever you have. Now, while that's cooking, let's sanitize. Do not forget this step, it's important. Everybody's cook time is going to vary just a little bit. Shoot for around 15 to 20 minutes per pound of chicken at 375. A good rule of thumb is just cooking it till that thermometer reaches 165. Go ahead and test it in the breast and the thigh. I feel like the other intimidating part of cooking a whole chicken is knowing how to carve it. But did you see how easy that thigh just came off? What I'm going to do is lift the leg up a little bit and just cut through the skin right where it separates. I'm going to pull the thigh and the leg, and we cut it for dinner just like that. Then I'm going to remove the breast. It is worth noting that I do not have wings on this chicken. Whenever we processed them, we pulled those off earlier, but if I were to be removing wings, I would do it just like I did the leg and the thigh. Just kind of pull it away and let your knife guide it down. Right at the joint, it should come off. The breasts are a little bit harder, but not hard at all. You're going to cut along the breastplate on one side of it and just let your knife guide down, cut straight down, and then I kind of use my fingers to pull it away and help that breast separate off the carcass. And then I'm going to go through and clean it up and grab all the little pieces of meat that are left on there. These are great to toss into a chicken salad with the chicken breast, or honestly, this is exactly what I feed my kids, is those little pieces. There is the carcass of a spatchcocked chicken. This is why it is so easy. I am not going to let this part go to waste though. I'm going to flip the top down on a Ziploc bag, put it in a bowl, and I'm going to move the carcass over and pour all the juice. Later, I'm going to add this together with some other chicken carcasses and those leg bones that I'll toss in later. Make a big old batch of broth with some veggies, and this is why I love cooking with a whole chicken, is that no part is wasted. Now I hope that you are not as intimidated and that you will try cooking a whole chicken.